Hmm. Well, I said this thing the other day. It was sort of yesterday and today at the same time. Had a meal with a friend who's into meditation and stuff. Well, actually, he's concerned about the reincarnation soul trap of a sort of, synthetic afterlife built by demons. Uh, it's, a true story that, has been, is out there in terms of theological ideas. But, so he sent me a picture today of a street mural in Invercargill. One of those decorative building we're cool to kind of street murals that are allowed to happen for those creatives. With a committee behind them of approval. They're always graphic. Nonetheless, this one had a world that was skinned, and underneath the skin was a cage, and the cage was over a head and a bust, and on top of the cage was a mask coming down. I think there was an exposed left boob too. It was huge. It was on the side of a building. He said, gee, James, he started sort of working out the psychology or something of the artist. And I sort of flipped it and said, no, man, like the artist is actually awake a bit and telling everyone, that underneath the mask of the world is a cage, and that kind of thing. So, and then the reason I'm actually doing this little anecdotal personal sermon that may be relevant to my craft and yours is that I said, if you actually are an artist, there's this wee thing that happens. It's called inspiration. It has to do with the spirit. And in order to maintain a connection with that isn't your ego continually trying to take charge, which is a bit tricky, I have to tell you. Spirit sort of requires truth and adherence to truth. And I think it's felt and recognised in every human being. So what I said to Derek was, yes, art has an obligation to tell the truth, Derek. And that can be a truth about beauty, and that can be about beauty's shadow. Perhaps they're the same, Perhaps the darkness is a medicine to the mask. So that's really my big realization for the moment, is that apart from designing a reality that we would deem likable for ourselves, there's actually something called conscience, and perhaps, as the Sufis would have it, an idea of being the hollow reed, meaning the breath, the spirit goes through the hollow reed, and that the idea of conveying a message from another realm, another dimension of ourselves, perhaps, is probably the best it gets. So yes, art has an obligation to tell the truth.